She was a new mother, still healing from childbirth, still waking up in the night to check if her baby was breathing. And in just one moment, it was all ripped away. They came to her door with a clipboard and a smile. They said they were here to help. But help wasn't what they brought. This is the story of Danielle Austin, a 24-year-old mother from Texas, whose baby was taken from her arms by Child Protective Services, based on a lie. A lie that was told in court. A lie that tore her life apart. And no one was ever held accountable. Danielle lived in a small apartment on the east side of Houston. She had given birth to her daughter, Ava, just 2 weeks earlier. No partner. No family close by. She was doing her best. When a CPS worker knocked on her door, she had no idea it would be the beginning of a nightmare. The worker claimed they had received an anonymous tip. That Ava was crying too much. That Danielle might be using drugs. Danielle was stunned. She had never used drugs in her life. But she agreed to a voluntary drug test, confident it would come back clean. They took her baby that same night, just temporarily, they said. For safety. 3 days later, the drug test returned negative. But Ava wasn't returned. Instead, CPS filed an emergency removal order, based on a different report now claiming Ava had visible signs of abuse. But there were no photos. No hospital records. No injuries. In court, a CPS supervisor told the judge that Danielle had failed her drug test. That Ava had bruises on her legs. That Danielle was uncooperative and emotionally unstable. None of it was true. Her lawyer objected, asked for evidence. But the judge denied the request. And just like that, Ava was placed into foster care. Danielle spiraled. She cried every day, called every number she could find, sent emails, filed complaints. For 11 months, she was allowed to see her baby just twice. Once for an hour under supervision. Another for just 30 minutes, with a camera watching her every move. Each visit, Ava cried when they took her away. Each time, Danielle left with less hope. What she didn't know was that CPS had already moved to terminate her parental rights, quietly, with no notice. They alleged ongoing danger to the child. They cited the same false drug report. They even claimed she had missed multiple court dates Danielle was never told about. It wasn't until a local reporter began digging into CPS records that the truth started to come out. There was no positive drug test. No abuse documentation. No written complaints from neighbors. What there was a pattern. CPS workers falsifying reports. Supervisors rubber-stamping removals. And judges approving terminations without proof. Danielle's case wasn't rare. It was part of a broader crisis. After nearly 2 years, the court reversed the termination of her rights. But Ava had already been adopted. The adoptive parents refused to return her. And under Texas law, the adoption couldn't be undone. Danielle never got her baby back. Not even one more visit. Not even a goodbye. The CPS workers involved were never charged. No suspensions. No apologies. Just silence. Today, Danielle keeps a photo of Ava next to her bed. She still buys her birthday cards. She still talks to her in the dark. They stole my daughter, she says. And they lied to do it. And no one did a thing. How many other mothers are sitting in silence tonight? How many children are growing up with strangers, never knowing the truth? When a system meant to protect children becomes a weapon, who protects us from the system? This isn't just one story. It's a warning. Because if it can happen to Danielle, with no record, no violence, no drugs, it can happen to anyone. Justice isn't just what happens in court. It's what happens when the lies are exposed. And right now, too many lies are still standing unchallenged.